So guys, the freeze dryer actually finished what it needed to do at 2 a.m. last night. So I got up and turned it off. I wasn't sleeping anyway. But as you can tell, this is almost like croutons, the consistency of croutons. So it's just like, it's very crumbly. It feels like almost like foam. So it's kind of neat actually. I have so many baby tomatoes that, you know, if this experiment doesn't work and, you know, we can put little pinholes in them and see if that works better. But for right now, I'm going to put them in whole. We have leftover chicken. I had 2 chickens that I made the other night. So I put the pieces on here. Vanilla yogurt. So I'm just in the process of actually smoothing this out. Takes up the whole tray. And the next one over is going to be strawberry. So we have strawberry yogurt, vanilla yogurt, chicken pieces, and our tomatoes. And that's what we're going to be putting in to dry. And we're going to see how long it is. Now, when I did the bread took at least 20 hours. So I'm thinking that's probably the minimal that you're going to see in terms of freeze drying. So that's what we're putting in, 5 trays of just leftovers. And my fridge it's hilarious. My fridge actually has room in it. So we're gonna do that and we're just gonna pop them in once I fill up the trays and see how that works. Okay guys, so making sure the valve is sealed. This was the water actually that came out yesterday. So I have to dump that when I did the toast. And basically what I've put in here, I'll just show you how. I put in my chicken. I put in my tomatoes. See how they do. Here is the vanilla yogurt, which you probably can't really tell. And so now we're going to put in the next yogurt bin here. Okay. And finally, my last chickens tray. There we go. The reason I'm freeze drying so much yogurt is because there is 2 different flavors. And what I find is we'll buy the yogurt and we mean well, but it ends up actually by just sitting, you know, in the fridge and nobody ever, for whatever reason, finishes the whole thing. So I'd rather just turn it into yogurt powder for protein shakes or, you know, just put it away. There's no point in wasting it, especially nowadays. So all 5 trays are in there. So we're gonna close up the door. Still in my pajamas. Just sent my kid off to school. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that the machine button, which is all the way down here, is on. And my screen is going to come up. And we're going to press start. Okay, so now what it's going to do is it's going to cool the vacuum chamber for 15 minutes. I put the food in basically to show you that if there are these little missteps that you do with the freeze dryer, like for example, you put your trays in, but you know, you get this message that tells you to wait 15 minutes before loading the trays. It's not going to blow it up. You're not going to catch anything on fire. It's okay. It's not that fragile. So it's okay to make little errors, just as long as your chamber and everything is sealed properly around the door and you've got your valve closed, everything will be hunky-dory. So when you get the next message, it's going to tell you to load the trays, you just hit continue and life goes on. So the other quick thing I wanted to point out, just while we're here by the machine, is that the machine tends to actually drip here in the front, and it's because of the condensation that actually falls off of the door here during the cooling process. So this would have been from my batch that we did last night with the bread. So just be aware of that. A lot of people have fixed this by actually leaning the harvest rate sort of forward so that they can, drop off into something. I'm simply, because it's so small of condensation drips, I'm simply just gonna probably lay a towel here during the processes so that, you know, it can collect any condensation that falls off of the chamber here. So just wanted to point that out. It's just a small little pool that happens every time you do a freeze drying session. So it's just something to be aware of. Okay, so once again, we have a load food in the freeze dryer, close your drain valve and hit continue. And now it's freezing. And now we're gonna go through that same process all over again. So the only thing that can be tedious is sometimes maybe a little bit of the setup. Other than that, this is pretty much a no-brainer in terms of, you know, constantly running it, putting your food in it and that kind of stuff. There's nothing to it. So all we do is leave that now, guys, and it will do its thing, and probably, you know, let's say 24 hours later, we'll see how it turned out. Okay guys, so we are at the 13-hour, 25-minute mark, and we're into the drying mode. And you can see the mTOR is decreasing at the top. So it's a little bit hard to show you what the food looks like because of the reflection off of the glass, but this hopefully should be done soon. And then what I'll do is I'll take the trays out and I'll actually show you what the food looks like and how it came out, and then we'll test it. Finally, the drying process is done. So if you take a look here, I'm just gonna pull this out. The trays are warmed, so I don't have to worry about that. The chicken is done. It crumbles almost like sawdust. See how crumbly that is? The small little tomatoes that I did, so they split obviously because it froze first and then warmed up. But listen to how hollow they are. It's just like styrofoam. That is crazy. There's no weight to them. They just feel like little styrofoam balls. They're dry as a bone. What a great way to preserve your tomatoes. Okay, let's see what the yogurt looks like. And the yogurt, yeah, so the yogurt just crumbles. So you could put this through your food processor, no problem, and make your smoothies and your protein shakes, you know, and just keep this in your Mylar bag without any refrigeration, which is awesome. And as you can tell, it dried it so well, it actually lifted right off of the tray. Look how crumbly that is. And just the last of the leftover of my chicken. So guys, this thing rocks. The next thing that's going in here is gonna be banana chips. I'm gonna be transferring these into a Mylar bag. And of course, we'll be putting in our little oxygen square in there as well and sealing it up. This machine is definitely worth the purchase. It's awesome. Onward and upward, guys. Just wanted to share that video with you today in terms of seeing how even if you mix food on different trays, that the Harvest Right machine is so worth the investment. I'm really excited to see what else the machine can do. So thanks very much, guys. Thumbs up if you like the material, or subscribe, and hopefully see you soon.